Ready? It's even higher than that. That one was, yeah. Welcome back to Ever Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Ever Disney Movie Ever. Today we have Mariah.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about Pixel Perfect.
Yes.
Let's get after it, I guess. Pixel Perfect is a 2004 Disney Channel original movie. It's directed by Mark A.Z. Dippe, cinematography by Rodney Charters, editing by Debra, music by Phil Marshall, and is written by Neal Shusterman. The film stars Raviv Ullman as Roscoe, Leah Pipes as Samantha, and Spencer Redford as Loretta Modern.
The songs were fun, and it made sense why I liked the movie a lot as a kid, or we enjoyed the soundtrack a lot as a kid. But watching it back and the lip syncing.
The same voice for both women?
Oh, terrible.
The same voice for both women.
It was
100% the same voice for both.
It was so bad.
Yeah. It didn't even match them, like, a little.
No.
It did look like she was playing the guitar, though, which...
Yes.
I was like, why? Okay. Why not just let her sing, then? Maybe she can't sing, but she can play the guitar, but, like, bummer. But, like, at least get someone that's, like, doesn't sound like a 30-year-old woman.
Or, like, mix it with her voice, like they did, you know, Drew Seeley and...
Zac Efron.
But, like, both of them lip-syncing, and then... Like, she obviously had to lip sync because the Loretta, she obviously had to lip sync because of all her dance moves.
Well, she would never get out of breath. She's an AI.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see.
But
I mean, it's obviously...
Not her voice.
Right. It's formulated based off of all those other people that he combined to make her voice or whatever. Which is hilarious because, like, they point out that he pulled all these voices from definitely, like, late 20s, mid to lower 30s women, but then used the exact same singing voice for Sam as well.
Oh my gosh, and her voice, the voice they used for Sam was so mature.
Right.
Not right.
Yes. Agree. And then, lest we never forget, that our favorite song from the soundtrack isn't in the movie.
Yeah, the end of the movie came and they were like rolling the credits and it wasn't even
in the credits.
And I'm like, then how do I know that song? And why do I always
literally, I thought, like, in my brain, what I remembered about this, like, we can touch on that a little later, but, like, music-wise, I could have sworn she wrote that song to, like, make him realize that he likes her and not Loretta. And then, no. Mm-hmm. By the way, for those who don't know, the song we like is off just the soundtrack. It's called Perfectly, and it's by, like, Huckapoo or something. But it's, I wanna be perfect, but I'm me. Like, right. And we sing that. I didn't remember any of the others. No. Like, I remembered them once I heard them.
Yes.
But I wouldn't have been able to sing a single song from Pixel Perfect to you, except for Perfectly, and it's not even in the film.
Right. And what just completely blows me away is I feel like I have a memory of her with her guitar on a stage, like, having, like, a, I'm gonna go do, like, an open mic thing and sing this song.
Wouldn't it be funny if that, like, is, and they just edited the movie down for Disney Plus, and, like, it's the Mandela effect. Yeah. I mean, the songs are good. I was a little annoyed with how many times they used the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm standing in the pouring rain. Like, by the 5th time, or whatever it was, I was like, okay, like, we've heard this, like, 30 times. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why isn't there a new one? Also, music related, I think I have this note somewhere else, but I'll put it here, is she auditions with their song, and they're not a very well-known band.
Yes.
So she's like, do you know this? And they're not at all suspicious that she knows their song. I was like, what? Maybe. And she asks, do you know it? Like, it's not their song. I'm like, well, is it a cover in that universe? Like,
right. Like, that's what I'm thinking is, like, this is an alternate universe
or that's a well-known song and they're covering it. But they really, like, push the whole Sam's a songwriter. Mm-hmm. So you get, like, it's like she wrote the song. So it's like, how... Whatever. I have a lot of issues with this movie. 26 minutes in, Roscoe and Sam are, like, already at it about Loretta. And I'm like, yo, it's been 20 minutes and, like, he, like, just created Loretta. Like, think about, like, we needed the intro leading up to when he creates Loretta. So, like, let's, for generosity's sake, Loretta's been around for, like, 10 minutes of the movie, obviously. Like, around 10 minutes if she's already mad about it. But she's, like, already, like, you like her. And it's like, yeah, first of all, she's a hologram and an AI. So, like, Roscoe, what are you doing? Like, okay, sir. But then Sam also being jealous of a hologram AI. Granted, she's a child. So I guess, like, I could give it to her. But halfway through this movie, I was like, is it almost over? It feels very climactic. Like,
yes.
And then the whole, like, them getting famous sequence happens. And I was like, they get famous? I was like, I don't remember any of this. And, and then, like, we go through this whole, like, the band's gonna break up moment because they want Loretta, not the rest of the band. Which, the Zettabytes is a clever name, I will say that.
Yes, yes.
But then...
But also, like, kind of doesn't make sense because they never had a hologram. Like, why are they the Zettabytes?
Because, I don't know, they're into technology. Whatever. They're
Roscoe's
in the early 2000s.
Manager.
Not really. He's never said that. But... what another, like, the part that I think I hate the most, character-wise, is that Sam tries to be Loretta.
Yeah.
I'm like, where does this come from? Because the entire movie, like, yeah, she's jealous of Loretta. And I think it's very sweet that she wants to, like, try and save the band when Loretta's missing. But it's so out of left field for the way she's been the entire movie.
Yeah.
That she just, like, decides to pretend to be Loretta. When, like, they could have just been like, hey, Loretta is malfunctioning. Like,
right.
We'll sing it for you. Like, or we could postpone the show or, like, whatever else. I guess maybe they couldn't have postponed the show, but... like, for her to, like, why pretend... Like, she doesn't even look like Loretta. Like, why pretend to be Loretta?
But then also, her mom is playing guitar for her, and...
Yeah. This movie is off the rails, plot-wise, guys. It's just, like... It's so horribly paced in the writing... Because it goes, you know, okay, this makes sense. He creates a hologram to, like, try and save their band. Okay, fine. I'm okay with that
but,
concept.
like, so quickly he creates a hologram.
Yeah, he's better than
And also,
Dad.
like, he's a genius, apparently.
Yeah.
And I would say the movie just, like, started.
Yeah.
There was no, like, gradual whatever. It was just, like, he was at the computer working on his hologram cat.
Kitty!
And I was just like... Oh, okay, we're starting. Wow, that's really fast.
Yeah. Well, and then you have, like, it feels like it's gonna climax at the halfway point, and then they get famous, which is like, okay, fine. They go through this whole, like, record deal drama, and then...
Phibbs, like, helps them all of a sudden.
They take the biggest, unnecessary plot turn and, like, severely injure Sam, and she's in a coma in the hospital.
Yeah, like...
And the part that, for me, makes me the most mad about this, Loretta uploads to her brain through an EEG machine.
That's not even an EEG machine.
That also is not connected to the internet in any way. So how on earth, like, that's not how that works. Like, she can't just go, I'm gonna touch this machine, and I upload to her brain. No. Not how that works. And listen... You could be like, oh, but it's magical, suspend your disbelief. No, the movie's too bad to do that.
And just in general, how does the hologram work? Like, how could... I know he says, like, oh, like, different waves and, you know, sound waves and this and that. And
refracting off the walls and stuff
I'm just
like
like...
No, you need a projector, my guy.
What?
You need some kind of projector for a hologram.
Like, what? They just download her at the hospital and then, boop, she's out of the computer. Like, what? So then she takes over Sam's body.
Oh yeah, and everyone's way too chill about that.
There's no nurses following her around or doctors being
not
like,
As a coma patient, wouldn't you have a bed alarm?
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, homegirl gets up out of her bed.
The fact that security wasn't following her out of the hospital No.
Yes, I'm with you. All workers in the hospital should be fired for that. Second of all, though, parents, way too chill with her waking up and being like, I'm Loretta. Like, I would have been like, what? Like, Loretta would have touched that machine and I'd be like, get the out of my daughter's body. What are you doing? Like, I would have been like, this makes no sense, but also, quit it, whatever it is.
And Loretta's just like, it's just for a little while. What?
It's like, how long's a while? Is my daughter in? No. She's here because of you. And you're... Also, when she was falling off the stage, my reaction, she falls off the stage, oh my god, I remember none of this. I was like, no one catches her?
Yeah.
Like... There's so many people right at the front of the stage.
That's what I thought was
and they all just back up as she falls to the ground.
I thought she was gonna, like, crowd surf or something.
Like, they were all gonna be like, oh, we got you, we got you. And, like, she wasn't a hologram anymore. And they all be like, what's happening? But no, she gets in a coma.
Or at least, like, they think it's gonna be a hologram falling on them. And then it's a real human falling on them. And then they just break her fall. But, no.
No, they all back up and let her hit the ground. I was like, what is this? So, yeah, this plot's a mess.
Truly.
Like, a mess. And Mariah and I both enjoyed this movie when we were young and didn't remember any of this. I remembered him, like, sort of falling for the AI, which I did not remember her name was Loretta Motter. I remembered Sam being jealous and being like, look at me, like, whatever, and thought she sang the song perfectly, and he was like, oh, you're right, and then, like, he fell for her, and I thought they kept Loretta, but, like, he was just like, no, you're right, Loretta's, like, an AI, and we're gonna help Loretta be able to, like, you know, be Loretta, and I'll just, that's all I remembered from this movie.
And also, she has, like, feelings and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, this whole movie...
Yeah.
I agree with you. I remember... What I remember was not in the movie.
I know, our song that we know the most words to. Soundtrack only. Not even in the credits. Not even in the movie. Literally, if you pull up the soundtrack, it's all the songs they sing in the movie. They sing in the movie. And then perfectly by... And I'm like, what? Why'd they put this on here?
Oh my gosh.
They're just like, how about a little bonus song? Like, that band was like, we're looking for our one chance. And they're like, we'll tack you onto this. Like, honestly. It's like, poor Huckapoo.
I only have one comment for acting, but...
Okay, go ahead, then I'll bounce off you.
Okay, so my very first reaction when the movie started was, Ricky is the only good actor, ? He starts out and he's FaceTiming or, you know, video chatting with Sam, and I'm like, wow, she's really bad. And then the dad comes in, and I'm like, okay, I mean, he's not horrible, but also he's not great.
I agree that he is the better actor of the film. And first of all, they have horrible source material to go off of. Yeah. So I feel like there's no true saving it. But then, normally in a movie like this, for even the adult actors to be atrocious, director's fault. Like, because I know that the guy who plays the dad, I think has been in other...
Yes, I think he has.
Like, decoms or other things we've seen where he hasn't been that bad. He's normally, like, a villainy, I think, type guy.
Okay.
And I think he's normally, like, pretty okay, actually. So, I think the source material, I think they were all just screwed, honestly, from the writing. No offense. No offense, Neal Shusterman, but yikes, okay? But this is the first time I've ever heard of Mark A.Z. Dippe. I've never said his name before. Pretty bad, my dude. Sorry. Don't think you got really good performances out of your actors. My apologies, but yeah. I think the effects are actually okay. Like, the cat, like, dissipating. I don't know what you would call that. Pixelating. I think those are pretty okay. The, like, animations for, like, the email was also pretty decent.
Yeah.
The green screen on her, though, like, not great. But I did think, like, those kinds of effects were good. And then, like, the sparky effects, they've perfected, like, sparks and lightning effect, shock effects and stuff like that. But I think there was an effect that I was like, no, that I didn't like or didn't think worked. But for the most part, like, to be making a movie where you have to do all these holographic things and green screen things, especially for a really crappy DCOM. It was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
And then I was obsessed with the fact that Sam had Avril Lavigne posters in her room.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was like, we stand. I don't think I had an Avril Lavigne. I had like the mini one from her second CD, I think, in my room. But then, I mean, we slammed that album.
Yeah.
That was a good album.
Yeah. It was very nice, I guess, to see Sam's room look like a very normal teenager room.
Yeah. Especially at that time.
Right.
Like, my room started to look like that around then because I was 10 going on 11.
But it wasn't like a Lizzie McGuire type room where it was like very staged. Like it looks very like TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
TV nice, I guess.
Yeah. It was very like she had mismatched posters everywhere. Yeah. I agree.
Roscoe and Sam kiss. No. Or when Sam kisses him and she's like, I'm right here. It's like, girl, no. Like, move on. He is in love with a hologram.
That he created.
Yeah. Like, ew. Like, just that fact alone is so cringy.
Yeah.
There were moments, like, pivotal moments that I was just like, no, they are not gonna do this. Like, I think I yelled out to you and I was like, is she gonna become is she gonna become real?
I think is what you said. I'm downstairs playing a video game and Mariah's upstairs watching it because we watched it at several times. And I just hear, is she gonna become real? And I like giggled to myself and I was like, give it a couple minutes and she'll come down here and be like, this movie's stupid.
So stupid. And then, no, worse, she gets inside her brain and takes over her body.
I was so nervous because when I was watching it, we watched it separately. So when I was watching it, I was like, yo, this movie is stupid. Like, it is not good. And I was like, if Mariah watches this and is like, it's so good, it holds up, I'm gonna be like, I cannot relate. So when I came home and she was watching it and I walked in and she just goes, this movie is dumb. I was like, whew. Thank goodness.
So garbage.
It is pretty garbage, guys. Don't waste your time, honestly.
The fact that the movie was supposed to be ending, but there was still like 25 minutes left. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, oh my god. There were multiple moments where you're like, okay, oh no, there's a lot of movie left. Okay, oh no, there's a lot of movie left. And then she gets into a coma and gets overtaken by an AI. And then dies in lightning. And then reappears in the mist.
Yeah. And then all of
harmonies.
A sudden, Roscoe and Sam are together. And happy.
Because he learned from his dad's mistakes and his own mistakes. I have to accept imperfections. Yeah, well, you're a big fat imperfection, so... Not great. Don't watch it.
Yikes.
What would you give it?
You know, I was debating, do I be generous and give it a 3?
Okay.
Or a 2.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Love that for you.
2 AIs.
Nice. 2 AIs out of 10. I gave it a 5. I think because it was just a crazy ride. I had a good time being like, what is this? Because I will give it this. I was glued to it from front to back. I was like, what is going on? I was never bored. I was just like, this is stupid.
I was bored.
Okay, love that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine's 5 AIs out of 10. Our total movie count is. Parent Death Toll and Crack Count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram. Twitter, you'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. You cannot follow Mariah on anything. Get over it. She is on Patreon though, so if you just want to say like, hey in the comments or something, you could say hey in the comments. Speaking of Patreon, this month only until the 31st, every tier gets a benefit from the tier above it, which means you could sign up for Patreon for $1 for the entire month and get a daily trivia question and participate. And I'm not going to post any of the answers until the end of the month. On the last day, so everyone can take their time trying to figure them all out. Don't Google it, that's rude. And then merch, 25% off with the code PET600 this month until the 31st. Go buy some. I did this today because don't be the movie about it, but we'll get there. Until next time, come like, subscribe. But I'm not in charge of your life, you are, so you do you, and don't be this movie about it, but also don't be the guy that was like, move, baby. He was awful.
Or the one who wanted to, like, steal Loretta forever.
Yeah, him too.
Yeah.
White dudes.
Rich white
And
dudes.
the dad. Don't be any of the white adult males in this movie.
Don't be the movie about it.
No, Raviv's great. How do you do this?
Hello.
Oh,
We have a tail.
he's like, hey.
You didn't like that.
He's like, I'm leaving.
Okay, bye. I wanna be perfect, but I'm me. I wanna be flawless, but you see every little crack, every chip, whoops, little mistake.
Ooh,
Yeah.